Welcome to the new IoT world. This is EK, managing the new Edge Software business unit in Advantech. With vision, Edge Software is eating the IoT world. I'm thrilled to have Tony Chung with me today, the General Manager of Canonical, the company owns Ubuntu. Hey Tony, I heard Ubuntu is now the leading Linux distribution globally, mainly in PC bundle and cloud VM businesses. What does Canonical try to accomplish by working with Advantech as one of the key strategic partners?
We are excited to partner with Advantech. Happy to see Ubuntu running on Advantech's hardware. We hope to achieve two key objectives: to lower the overall cost of making Ubuntu Linux powered by IoT embedded device available, and second, to shorten the IoT project time to market. With this partnership, we are hoping in few years, millions of IoT devices will be powered by Ubuntu, pre-installed, maintained, and ready to go.
Advantech has been known for the worldwide leader in the industrial space across verticals like factory automation, smart city, healthcare, energy, and etc. You name it, we've got it. However, Advantech has not been that visible in the open source maker community. I really want to take this opportunity to make it clear to all the makers out there, doesn't matter if you're working on digital transformation, IoT, AI or machine learning or renewable energy projects, so on and so forth. Advantech and Canonical now team up to deliver fully supported, full stack secured, software and hardware certified IoT solutions, along with comprehensive system utilities and Snapcraft apps to dramatically reduce project complexity and shorten time to market. I'm almost sure you are not able to find any comparable solution anywhere else in the ecosystem. Do you agree, Tony?
Certainly. IoT on the IoT edge side of things has always been low volume, diverse, complicated, and purpose-built. Lots of them has been done in the past, trying to simplify and bring Linux to this segment, but failed to scale. We believe by teaming up with Advantech, together we'll be able to fulfill this need. Open source is now the major focus on how technology is being adopted, and Ubuntu is on the forefront of being de facto platform for open source innovations. Enterprise needs hardware from Advantech and our expertise to use open source in a cheap enough way. By offering to ready-to-go plug-and-play Ubuntu hardware, I believe we can certainly change the IoT solution landscape.
Okay, Tony. To make our business successful, we really need to make sure we understand what the market and the customers are thinking. That's why we have collected quite a few questions and comments from Advantech teams around the world. Let's take a look.
Third question is Ubuntu free?
Ubuntu 認証って何ですか？顧客がそれを行う場合と行わない場合でどんなメリットとデメリットがありますか？
Ubuntu 和其他 OS 竞争对手有哪些差别？例如 Debian、Red Hat。
My question is, what are the conditions required to sell Ubuntu core licensing with Advantech hardware? Is it across our entire product portfolio or select products that have gone through validation testing? Thank you.
Hi there. My customer has built the image by his own out of the open source and wants to deploy it during the mass production. Therefore, it's not reasonable to get charged for. What would you suggest to do?
Tony, let's start with the easiest one and save the best for last. What is Ubuntu certification? What can go wrong if not certified by Canonical?
The short answer is anything can go wrong when hardware is not certified. Ubuntu is unique in terms of how we package and deliver Linux technology. With each release, we always include the latest and the greatest. With this approach, it introduces different level of challenges. You have to understand, ensuring something very new works very well is very different from ensuring something that has been around for 5 years. Because everything is so new, certification itself becomes extremely critical to the overall quality of the device. At Canonical, we design thousands of test cases for device, and we test and retest them for the entire product lifecycle. meaning that the device not only have to pass the initial certification test, but will need to continue pass the test after each software update. Ubuntu gets update every 3 weeks. We certify maybe more or less 1,000 different hardware a year. Even with this careful approach, we still see certified device having problems here and there a couple times a year. It's easy to see just by log on to our community and found various of issues around hardwares.
Totally agree. We do have almost 30 Advantech devices certified by now and keep counting. I really hope customers can fully realize the unique value delivered since the effort behind the scenes is huge. Okay, now we're heating up. How do you compare Ubuntu against other Linux players out there?
There are thousands of other distros out there. All of them are trying to do their best to support a community. Not easy to compare one to another. Here's what we know. Ubuntu seems to be the de facto platform for other open source projects to be innovative. And we believe that it's mainly because Ubuntu supports lots of hardware and it's very secure. For example, Debian is a community support version of Linux. If people want to maintain their own Linux, it's a great distro to use. Red Hat, like Ubuntu, is also a commercially supported Linux. What's a bit different is Red Hat mostly focused on server side of things, which tend to move slower, less complicated configuration. Ubuntu focuses on evolving to the latest and the greatest new technology, both hardware and the software. Windows are Windows, very different from entire open source approach. So it will be difficult to compare as technology and the ecosystem on both are very different from Linux. However, Windows does comes with Linux, right, as WSO2 today.
If not anything else, I do want to give Canonical a pat on the back because Canonical is essentially doing a heavy lifting work that no other players in the Linux world are willing to do.
I wouldn't call it like that. Canonical does focus on trying to support as much hardware as possible for Linux, and that's our key strength.
Okay, now, here comes the million-dollar question. In virtually every conversation with our sales team, customers, and partners, this always comes up. Ubuntu is open source, right? Why do we have to pay? I really want to get a short, crisp, logical, and direct, and easy to understand answer from you on behalf of Canonical Ubuntu to put this question to rest once and for all. Can you do that for me, please?
What are you talking about? Ubuntu is still free. Okay, let me elaborate on this. Free software typically means completely open source and allow people to leverage the work. Free doesn't necessarily mean no money. Ubuntu is free to use for business internally and for all end users. We do let end users, people who use the software, free to use as they wish, as in asking no money. I have said this many times and will say this again. To use the software and to distribute the brand Ubuntu are two different things. When a hardware vendor wants to bundle Ubuntu to make a profit, we have to make sure whatever they are bundling Ubuntu with, the product is certified. And certification and examining these modifications has a cost. Hardware just won't work right out of the box if they're not certified. And we can't support non-certified hardware really because we don't know anything about them. I think it's fine if you have 2-3 machines that are running Ubuntu with non-certified hardware. But imagine you have 50, 500, 5,000 devices. Does anyone want that level of reliability? Again, yes, we do want to influence the quality on how the brand Ubuntu is being associated with other products. Most important of all, we want the product bundle with Ubuntu to be properly tested, maintained, and yes, we do charge a service fee when doing that.
Okay, so users don't have to pay for their own use, but they have to buy Ubuntu license from Advantech for its modification, redistribution, and preloading services based on Ubuntu image. Obviously, you and I have very different definition on short and crisp, right?
Any hardware vendors that wish to bundle always contract us to do integration and certifications. Brands like Dell, HP, and Lenovo have been working with us for more than 12 years. It is just the way that we have approached the IoT market is different from PC and server. We have to modify how we serve the IoT market because it's low volume, high diversity nature. And the partnership with Advantech means we are offering the lowest possible cost to do this. I hope this message gets across. Let me give you an example. We have an energy management customer. They decide to use Ubuntu to power their smart meter controller. Working with us, based on the customized project, the time to market and the cost associated with it was much higher than working with Advantech, because we leverage each other, compensate each other to reduce the time and the cost. I hope I have answered the million-dollar question.
I love it, Tony. I hope this strategic alliance is to expose Advantech professional quality right in front of Canonical's open source makers community, and vice versa. Thank you for your time and sharing today.
Thank you.
See you all next time.